What's going on, guys? Gavin here at Mad Soaps. Today we are restoring some Isinglass. This came off of our client's 2004 Sea Hunt. You can see it's been exposed to lots of salt water, lots of sun damage, lots of scratching. Our client saw the price tag that Isinglass typically runs and decided to go for a restoration route instead. So that's exactly what we'll be doing today. We'll take you through a 3-step correction of this Isinglass and show you the befores and afters. So the first step in this process is going to be to clean the surface. We're going to start with some slip solution as well as a brand new magic eraser. Now the magic eraser is going to scratch the surface, but it's also going to remove any of the residue or the salt that's been left on the surface for years. So we'll simply spray some onto the magic eraser and then just mist the entire surface.
So why a magic eraser over a microfiber?
So we are actually removing some scratching by doing this. Now we're also adding scratching, but it's going to remove some of those stubborn scratches, and it's also going to remove, we have a bug here that's stuck on here that's going to be just lifted off of the surface.
And that's something we do in some of our maintenance washes, or even before we get into a multi-stage correction on a boat, is we use a magic eraser, and it can kind of act as a clay bar in some ways.
Absolutely.
Because it can remove those bugs, it gets rid of deep surface contaminants that your rag couldn't. And especially if you're getting ready to polish something, I think it's always a good opportunity to use a magic eraser. And like Gavin said, the magic eraser does leave about 3,000 grit scratches on surfaces if you use it. And of course, when you're gonna follow it with a polish or a compound, it's gonna immediately remove it, so it's not a worry. But now we're gonna dry it off here. You can already see, maybe the camera can't pick it up, but some of those water spots and mineral damage are already coming out. And that's because of the grit in the magic eraser. Now, is this something that we do a lot?
No, this is more of a by request basis. Just because of how fragile these surfaces really are.
Right, but a lot of times we'll clean the Isinglass.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, that's standard in all of our packages.
Yeah.
But as far as actually removing it and fully cutting it, I think that's a different animal. Gotta tape this next side before we get started. Now, do you like Isinglass work?
Not particularly.
Why not? What are some things about Isinglass that makes you say that?
Just how fragile it is. It scratches super easily. It cracks easily on certain types of Isinglass.
Definitely. Now, what are the certain types of Isinglass that can definitely break or crack easier than others?
So there's acrylic Isinglass, which is more of a rigid, tougher Isinglass. Now, if you bend that in a certain way, it'll crack, and you essentially have to get a whole new piece.
And unfortunately, we have done that.
Yes,
We have done that. It's very fragile, especially older Isinglass, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, let me know your thoughts on that, but I think the older the Isinglass, the easier it breaks.
Yep. It just becomes brittle over time.
And this is not cheap either.
No, not at all. It's a very expensive
This
mistake.
is not something you can just go pick up at your local West Marine. Usually sometimes it's custom made to the boat.
Yeah,
or maybe it is always custom made to the
I
boat.
think most of the time it is usually custom made to fit.
So you can only imagine if you damage a giant piece of Isinglass on a 70-foot yacht.
Can only imagine.
Or you can nut. Alrighty, we have it all clamped down on all four corners. There's definitely some scratches. I would even argue it looks worse than it did before we even started cleaning it. We just finished the magic eraser with the slip solution. Cleaned all of it really good. There's very minimal mineral damage at this point. It's just a lot of scratches. There is still some mineral damage throughout. What's next?
So now we're gonna go in with our finish R on a yellow wool pad. This is going to be the most harsh correcting step that we're gonna do today. We're going to just remove all of those scratches, and then we're gonna continue to lighten those scratches as we go.
Let's see what happens. So when you're detailing a boat, I noticed that usually you'll have an applicator. Why are you putting it on this way?
So just because of how sensitive and fragile the isinglass is, I feel that it's better to apply it with the pad.
This probably helps the pad get primed too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, let's see what happens. So, 1 second. I noticed that you were going side to side, and now you're going up and down. Why are you doing that? And are you switching speed on the polisher at all?
So I'm using the same speed right now, but the reason I go in different formations is just to make sure that I cover every square inch and centimeter of the surface.
Got it. Well, so it'll give you a better result. You're just covering it more.
Absolutely.
Because I can see how you were making lanes going this way, and now, and it's similar to gel coat. We do the same thing.
Yep.
Side to side, up, down, flat.
Yep.
Okay.
All flat.
Got it. So one thing that makes me really nervous is you using a rotary on isinglass. Can you tell me why you use a rotary, and have you ever had any accidents doing that?
So the reason that I use the rotary is just so that we get more of a consistent finish than if we were using a dual action or a random action. Because the polisher just spins around in a circle rather than on a random axis.
I feel like, and I'm sure a lot of the people out there can relate, putting an orbital on this isinglass is probably very, very stressful. I feel like it might even, I feel like an orbital is just softer. You're not risking anything with that, especially with a foam pad, but this using a wool pad on a rotary on isinglass. Interesting.
Yeah, this is, usually we use a rotary when we're doing our harshest corrections, even on gel coat, so.
Right. Well, let's finish wiping this and then let's flip it over.
Now we're just gonna do the same exact thing on the other side.
you mind if I wiped it off?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to get my hands at least a little dirty. I could imagine that getting into the corners probably a little bit difficult.
Yep.
Because you definitely don't want to hit the canvas.
No, or else it's going to be a very big hassle to get out.
Yeah. If when you're working on a boat, if you do get compound on canvas, how do you get that out? Does it stain?
So it does stain, but the stains aren't permanent.
Right.
It is difficult to get out, but it's not impossible. It's
Mm-hmm.
very meticulous, just a lot of scrubbing. Try not to use any harsh chemicals.
What's your rubbing off strategy here?
So
Do you fold it in 4 and go in circles?
Yep, I usually fold it in 4 and just go in a straight line, just because.
Got a clean one. So that you heard it, guys. Fold it in 4s and go in a straight line. Circles are not good for isinglass. Why? I don't know. Let's have Gavin the expert answer that one. What do they call you? Gavin super good? Gavin super good, everybody.
I would say straight lines are better just because
Oh right, straight line.
our goal is to reduce the scratching.
Right. And doing it in a circular motion is causing scratches.
It could.
It could.
And then the reason you fold it into 4s is because you have multiple clean surfaces that you can go back to.
Well, I guess the easiest way to get this done is to just call Matt Soaps.
Definitely.
That way you don't have to worry about your scratches or your circular motions or anything.
You just drop it on off and we take care of it.
Just drop it off and it's done. All right, what's next? We're gonna take these off and then we're gonna get to our next step.
Yep, so
Awesome.
we're gonna move into our next step now.
Cool. So this is after one step on the rotary polisher. With the yellow wool pad, as you can see, there is still some pretty heavy scratching, a little bit of haziness here and there, but keep in mind that was just one step of 3. We're gonna get started on the next one now. All right, what's next?
So now we're gonna be using the same Finish R compound. We're moving away from the yellow wool, and now we're gonna be going in with a muddy pad.
Why?
So the yellow wool pad is going to be our harshest correcting pad. This wool on this pad is much softer. So we're essentially correcting the scratches that the yellow wool pad made.
So it's really similar to gel coat.
Yep.
You first of all have to get your eyes on it. Have to identify where you need to start, whether that's a foam pad, a hybrid, or a wool pad. And you start from that harshest step and work your way up.
Yep.
And that's what this pad is.
Similar to gel coat on a boat, or if you don't have experience with boats, similar to sanding wood.
Mm-hmm. So like doing, say, varnish.
Yep.
You start with 80 grit, work up to 220, and it's really just like anything that you're restoring.
Absolutely. So now we're going to be using a higher speed. We're going to be using 1800 RPM.
Stay at 1800 RPM for the whole run?
I will.
I feel like that one had a lot more working time.
Yeah,
Got
so
more time on that one.
essentially we're just trying to work in all of the compound because it is more difficult to buff off with the rag.
See my straight lines?
Yep, perfect.
Looking good. Looking much better. All right, so now that it's wiped off, we'll flip it over and do the same thing? Exactly. Awesome. So we're done?
All done with that step.
Oh, we still got one more step.
One more to go.
It's an 1,000 grit polish. Finish R is a 1,000 grit polish. And then next, we're gonna be using the same 1,000 grit polish.
Yep, just on a foam pad.
On a foam pad. Is there any reasoning behind finishing with the foam pad?
It is personal preference. I just feel that it gives it a better finish.
I think it's probably a little bit different with all isinglass, considering there's multiple different types.
Yeah.
Because some isinglass you can sand,
Mm-hmm.
and you can get perfect results.
Yep.
But in this case, with this particular kind of isinglass, we can't sand it because it would destroy it.
Yep. Yeah.
And we just have to do the best we can with what we can use to be safe. So far it looks a lot better though. We're gonna finish wiping this off, take the clips off, show you guys the results after step 2, and then we're gonna move on to step 3. All right, so that is step 2 done. There is still some very light haziness and some light scratches, but like we mentioned, on this particular kind of isinglass, we cannot do any sanding. There are multiple different types of isinglass. This one in particular, you cannot sand, so we have to do the best that we can with what we have. But so far, I'd say it's looking a lot better. What do you think?
Much better, yeah.
From what it was to now, but we still have another step to do. So let's see what it looks like after that.
Now for our third and final step, we're gonna be switching pads once again. Still using the same compound finish R. This is going to smooth out the surfaces one last time and leave it looking.
Remove some of those lighter scratches.
Absolutely.
There was a little bit of haziness left over, and I think that will get rid of the majority of that leftover haziness and remove those super light scratches. We'll see how it turns out. All right, so that is one side of step 3 done.
Yep.
Let's get it turned over and see how it turned out. Or finish the other side and then see how it turned out. So same thing on this side, nothing different?
Same exact thing.
Alrighty, let's get to the time lapse. Buffer's probably sick and tired of you by now.
Yep.
But I think we're all done. Let's give it a final wipe down.
See how she came out.
Get rid of that excess. In the boating world, I'd even argue that Isinglass is probably the #1 problem as far as marine maintenance and boat detailing. Just because of how meticulous the work needs to be and also how fragile it is. Would you agree on that?
Definitely would agree.
Because fiberglass or gel coat, you have a lot of working room. There is room for, it's not something that we promote or push or try to do at all, but there is room for error because you have a lot to work with.
Anything that's
Something
clear,
like
Isinglass, windows or anything clear always shows imperfections the easiest as well.
And especially something like this is essentially your vision on your vessel. If this isn't clear and clean and crystal clear, there's problems because now you can't see. And even the best touch to this is leaving it protected at the end in the coating of some sort.
Yeah, that's it.
As you can see, from what it was to now, it almost looks like new Isinglass. And another thing is, this did not cost $5,000. Right, Gavin?
Nope, it did not.
This is, I don't want to say cheap alternative by any means, but this is a quick alternative, an alternative to not spend thousands of dollars on new Isinglass when you could just bring it on over to Mad Soaps and have the Mad Soaps guys take care of it. So as you guys saw, this is a night and day versus how it looked, and I'll show you guys some before photos. I'll put them right above. What do you think on this being this?
So it may not be perfect, but this coming from a 22-year-old boat, the owner not wanting to put thousands of dollars into replacing this Isinglass and having it be brand new, this is a great alternative. It saved our client thousands of dollars as well as left them with a brand new to them looking piece.
And also a lot of time, because if you're going to get a new piece of Isinglass or canvas or whatever it is, you can be waiting up to months. I mean, you could go halfway through a season waiting on something like this to be remanufactured and reshipped to you, when you could just bring it over to Mad Soaps. They'll take care of everything, whether it's polishing, compounding, fixing canvas. If it's damaged, broken, scratched, you name it, we can take care of all of it. Awesome.